Our grandparents got by with half a paycheck and still had full pantries. Struggling with rising prices today? Wait until you discover their 50 ingenious frugal hacks that still work but almost no one uses anymore. If you want to live smart instead of expensively, subscribe to our channel now and dive with us into the forgotten frugal wisdom of our grandparents. Enjoy discovering. 1 light per room. Back then, a single bulb hung in the living room, flickering yellowish, almost reverently. Today, we have chandeliers in every corner. Our grandparents were right about 1 light. It brings clarity, saves electricity, and shines just what's missing: calm. Discipline the thermostat. Grandpa never heated the whole house, just the living room, and even there, a warm sweater often sufficed. Today, we crank it to 23 degrees Celsius and wonder about the bill. Heating less doesn't mean freezing. It means thinking. Unplug devices, no standby. Back then, off meant off. Grandpa pulled the plug, turned off the TV, click, done. Today, red lights glow all night. Standby silently eats your money. Switching off saves electricity, nerves, and the good feeling of living consciously. Ventilate instead of constant tilt. Grandma flung the windows open in the morning. 5 minutes, cross-draft, done. Today, we tilt windows for hours and heat out the window. Heat escapes, bills rise. Shock ventilating saves, and you breathe easier. Fresh air with sense instead of a draft on your wallet. Dry laundry outside, a line between 2 posts, the wind as a dryer. Grandma needed no buttons, just sun. Today, we pay for hot air from a machine. Outdoor laundry smells better, saves fabric and nerves. And by the way, real money. Make your own cleaning products. Grandma didn't need apple-scented plastic bottles. She used vinegar, baking soda, a rag, and it sparkled. Today, we pay for the label. Back then, results mattered. Mixing your own saves not just money, but restores respect for simplicity. Old textiles as cleaning rags. Grandma's worn-out apron became a cleaning rag, her dish towel a dust cloth. Nothing was thrown away. Everything got a second life. Today, we tear off paper, wipe once, toss it. Back then, cleaning was done with sense and dignity. Organized drawers. In Grandma's drawers, nothing was duplicated. Every rubber band, every candle had its place. We buy tape for the 3rd time because the old one's buried somewhere. Decluttering saves, not on the shelf, in your head, and at the checkout. Write a meal plan. Sunday morning, coffee aroma, the notes ready. Grandma wrote down the week's meals. No fridge riddles, no wasteful madness. Today, we plan meetings. Back then. Meals were planned. And that made the difference. It was about life. Shop sated. Grandma never shopped hungry. A buttered bread first, then the market. A full stomach doesn't grab for cookies or extra packs. The stomach's quiet, the head decides. And the basket holds what's needed. No more. Check pantry before shopping. Before Grandma shopped, she checked every jar, the flour drawer, the shelf, even under pot lids. Nothing was bought twice, nothing forgotten. Today, we buy on a hunch. Back then, they looked, counted, planned. And that's why the money stretched. Cook with leftovers. At Grandma's, nothing went to waste. Stale bread became dumplings, roast scraps a skillet dish. She didn't cook new, she thought further. Today, we toss what she transformed, and that was her secret kitchen magic. Bake your own bread. When Grandma's dough rested, the house was quiet. Then came the aroma. Crust, warmth, contentment. Today, we buy shrink-wrapped something. She baked from flour and patience, and saved, without noticing, alongside. That's what home smelled like. Drink coffee at home. Grandma's coffee didn't come in a plastic-lidded cup. It steamed on the table, next to the newspaper, and calm. Today, we pay €4 for haste. Brewing at home saves money and gains a quiet morning ritual. Buy seasonal produce. Grandma bought what was ripe. Tomatoes in summer, cabbage in winter. Not by whim, but by season. It tasted better, cost less, and came without a plane. Today, we eat everything always. Back then, you ate right, because you waited. Grow herbs on the windowsill. On Grandma's windowsill sat a pot of parsley. just soil, water, sun, and patience. Today we pay for wilted packs. Back then you grabbed scissors, not a receipt, and that was good. Freeze instead of toss. Grandma didn't throw anything away. She filled pots into jars, wrote dates, stacked them in the freezer. Today we toss leftovers in the bin, but a freezer doesn't hold icebergs. It holds reserves, security, and common sense. Preserve like before. Can, dry, ferment. In late summer, Grandma's kitchen smelled of plums and beans. She canned, layered, labeled. No excess, no spoilage, just stock on the shelf. Today we toss what she preserved. Yet a jar holds more than just food. Learn to sew and mend. A hole in the sleeve was no reason to toss. Grandma grabbed a needle, stretched fabric over a thimble, and stitched it firm like a promise. Today, we rip open what she preserved. Sometimes a thread is enough. Repurpose old clothes. Grandpa's shirt became a shopping bag, a skirt, a pillowcase. Grandma saw promise in every fabric, not just the past. Today, we toss what she transformed. That's the secret talent of true frugality. Second-hand instead of new. Grandma wore jackets with history, not yesterday's, but second-hand. Today, new often feels cheap. Back then, they sought quality, not labels. Buying second-hand saves more than money. It's a choice against waste and for value. Pay cash instead of card. Grandma paid with bills, counted out before spending. Every purchase was a decision, not a card swipe. Today, we pay contactless and notice later what's gone. Paying cash saves money and makes you think before it disappears. Introduce purchase pauses. Grandma wrote wishes on a note and set it aside. If you still thought of it after 4 weeks, you could buy. Today, we click instantly. She waited. We regret. Purchase pauses save more than discounts, and sometimes even disappointment. Handmade gifts. Grandma gave jam in jars, knitted socks, homemade warmth. No vouchers, no barcodes. Her gifts smelled of home and felt like time. Today, we buy gifts. Back then, you gave what you truly had, yourself. Swap clothes. Grandma swapped dresses with the neighbor. A skirt traveled the village, fit everyone once. No purchase, no waste, just passing on. Today, pieces gather dust in closets. Back then, you passed on what was too good to forget. And that was enough. Care for and repair shoes. Grandpa polished his shoes on Sundays with a steady hand and an old cloth. The cobbler knew him by name. Today, we buy new when the sole creaks. Back then, you repaired what you wore and kept wearing it, step by step. Choose quality over quantity. Grandpa had one coat. It lasted decades, not a season. Today, we buy fast and plenty instead of rare and good. Quality wasn't about money then, but pride. Choosing wisely saves more than cash. Walk or bike short distances. Grandpa walked to the baker every morning in any weather. Today, we drive 2 streets and wonder about fuel prices. Walking saves. Money, nerves, and a bit of mobility back for yourself. Use public transport and travel passes. Grandpa kept his bus pass tucked in his wallet and used it every day. Today, a monthly travel card can take you across entire regions for a fraction of the cost of driving. Switching saves not just money, but your sanity. Organize carpooling. Back then, you rode with the neighbor. 3 people, 1 car, 1 destination. Today, we drive alone, pay double, curse in traffic. Sharing saves. Miles, costs, conversation starters, and you arrive not just cheaper, but often in better spirits. Learn basic car maintenance. Grandpa pulled out the dipstick, sniffed the oil, and knew. Today, a light blinks, and we pay €100 to top up. Often, a glance, a rag, a drop is enough. Looking closely drives cheaper and more confidently. Plan vacations like Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma packed for the countryside, not the Caribbean. Grandpa knew every trail in the forest, not every shop in the airport. Vacation meant going out, not far. Today, we fly to distant lands. Back then, a lake, a loaf of bread, and a single day were enough. Camping and picnics instead of expensive theme parks, a patch of grass and laughter. That's all it took. Grandma spread the blanket, Grandpa carved a stick for play. Today, we pay for noise. Back then, adventure lay under open skies. Use the public library. Between library shelves, it smelled of paper and adventure. Grandpa read the paper, we kids got lost in stories. Today, it's still there, quiet, patient, free. You just have to walk in and marvel. Game nights instead of cinema. Friday was game night. Grandpa shuffled cards, Grandma served tea, we argued over rules and laughed until tears came. No cinema ticket, no popcorn bucket, just us and the game. Today, we click play. Back then, we played real. And no one wanted to fast forward. Nature as a retreat. Back then, you went outside when things got tight indoors. A field path, a tree, a quiet piece of world. Grandma gathered herbs, Grandpa gazed at the sky. Today, we scroll. Back then, you listened to the silence and found yourself. Unplug the phone. Evenings, the phone was quiet. Conversations happened at the kitchen table. Today, it buzzes, beeps, distracts. A reach into the drawer, and the world slows down. Unplugging lets you hear more, especially yourself. Keep kids busy without cost. Back then, kids carved arrows, sewed dolls, invented worlds with a stick. Learning to entertain yourself saves not just money, but uncovers something precious, your own imagination. Spend time with people, not things. An evening with friends was worth more than any new gadget. You sat together, told stories that never got old. Today, we buy silence with tech, but closeness isn't in a box, it's at the table, in listening. Value contentment over consumption. Grandma often said, expect little and you're often gifted. Contentment wasn't a goal, but a mindset. Today, we chase wishes that aren't ours. Being content saves not just money, but might even find peace. Real happiness. Embrace slowness. Grandpa watched birds fly while Grandma stirred jam slowly. No deadlines, no constant buzz. Living slowly means buying less junk. And suddenly, you realize much of what we chase today isn't needed to be happy. Keep a budget book like Grandma. Grandma's budget book was her compass. Every penny was noted in neat handwriting with system. Writing keeps you in budget. A notebook, a pen, a bit of discipline, and suddenly, you know where your money really goes. Cook together instead of eating out. Back then, we stood at the stove together, laughed while chopping, tasted from the pot. Cooking was more than food, it was time for each other. Today, a restaurant replaces conversation, but saving feels better, especially together. Garden for self-sufficiency. Grandpa dug potatoes himself while Grandma harvested beans. Today, it's called self-sufficiency. Back then, it was just normal. Growing your own saves money, moves you in fresh air, and tastes like summer on your tongue. Save water in daily life. When Grandma saw the tap running, a stern look followed. A toothbrush cup was always ready. Rainwater was collected in old barrels. Living like this saves real money and makes you feel how precious every drop is. Mend clothes instead of washing. Back then, you didn't wash just because a button was missing or a stain appeared. You mended, patched, wore on. It saves fabric, electricity, and reminds you how little you need when you treat things well. Use candlelight for coziness. When the wind whistled around the windows, Grandma lit a candle on the table. No TV, no phone, just flickering light and quiet conversation. Electricity saved, soul warmed. Sometimes, that's all it takes to feel rich. Analog organization instead of apps. A note on the pinboard was enough to know what to do. Just a pen, paper, and a clear head instead of app subscriptions. You wrote what mattered and kept in view what was truly important. Protect tablecloths and save. Under Grandma's oilcloth, things stayed safe. A quick wipe, and on we went. The dining table stayed clean, nerves calm, and the wallet safe. Practical, charming, and somehow cozy all at once. Tell stories instead of streaming. Back then, a creaking chair and a warm gaze were enough. Stories weren't streamed. They lived between people. You listened, marveled, laughed. No screen, just imagination, closeness, and an evening that stayed unforgettable. If you've read this far, you get it. The hacks from back then are worth gold today. Write in the comments which hack you liked best, and don't forget to subscribe for more clever ideas from the past that make perfect sense today. Until next time. Next.